Enra ana Ghana officially launching your 60th CD celebration no. I course Accra International Conference Center. Na the omni say Vice President of the Republic, Professor Jane Opoku-Agyemang Ekopiemu, Saso na Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Johnson Esiama Enso Ekopiemu, Sa Enso and a Finance Minister Dr. Ato Forson. Omo den sem ekotuja. Ghana E-Cedi no at the 60 years celebration one year on no more launching officially. Na mpanyifo de ensem bi tuja. I think say ensem no interesting. Ye de ho nsem eba be dwom e de ama aha e Naana Jan 20. Bacha oba subscribe channel here. We have bell notification icon no. You turn it on send be a video no drop here on Sabeka video. Is we enjoy and pacho leave your comment. In fact, and yes, we enjoy what you make of the video. Leave your comment in the comment section. Nothing so watch for from so and be ashe. And now, and Ghana, you launch your 60th CD celebration. Vice President Ekopiemu, Bawamen Shase M3, Governor of the Bank of Ghana. Johnson Esiama. On the who say Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and the Vice President of the Republic, Professor Jane Opoku-Agyemang. Omo the name go come and say Ghana E-Cedi attending the corner. So see as we speak, E-Cedi to the dollar, I think they are around 10.8 according to the Bank of Ghana rate or so. And the who say maybe omo peke or money free, you know, anybody is CA or money jinano or attending the corner when it comes to Cedi na ahwodin. Me mo akwa Bank of Ghana Governor Johnson Esiama. Yeba to aso.
Under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Her Excellency the Vice President, and through coordinated, difficult, but necessary policy actions, I'm happy to say that Ghana has turned a decisive corner. And indeed, the evidence is compelling. Headline inflation is now at 9.4% as of September 2025. And we expect it to end the year even far lower. The cedi has appreciated by 37% as at October 17th. And according to the World Bank, it is the best performing currency in sub-Saharan Africa for the first 8 months of 2025. Our gross international reserves are currently around $12 billion US, which is providing a robust cushion against external volatility and restoring our investor confidence. So these gains are not by accident. They are the result of hard, sometimes unpopular, but principled decisions that we've had to take. Fiscal consolidation by government, a tight monetary policy stance by the Bank of Ghana, and renewed confidence from the investor community and the Ghanaian public. And so today, as we celebrate 60 years of the cedi, we do so not out of nostalgia, but from a place of hard-won stability and cautious optimism.
For Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Johnson Esiama na Motene, can over ana Finance Minister Ato Forson boy nkomo e kwa enfa so wode niam agu akoma cedi no ahode no FCP asita as we speak. Na the omni so obesere Ghana for nyina. Let's trade in our local currency. Enough of the dollar conversation. Now uko baby ani eko $2, uko hotel bi $, uko PM institution $, or se debi. Sa niam no e ma cedi na ahode NCP sita. Enti ye pese I mean cedi ni strength na ye sustain going forward there. And let's always make sure, say, we quote our currency conversation in Ghana cedis. Ato Forson, Doctor, or Finance Minister, and somebody to the Accra International Conference Center during the launch of the cedi 60th anniversary, and a celebration. And when somebody to Ghana, how to sustain the momentum in the cedi in Agadon, and why we should not engage in a dollar conversation and are quoting in dollars. Ato Forson, and somebody to Ghana.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Speaker of Parliament, Ministers of State here present, the Governor of the Bank of Ghana and his deputies, former Ministers of Finance and Governors of the Central Bank, Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, captains of industry, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct honor to join you today as we mark 60 years of the Ghana Cedi. The Ghana Cedi represents the pride of our nation and our heritage. Since 1965, the Cedi has not just been a store of value, but as an integral part of our heritage. Indeed, from the days of our first republic, throughout our history, and to the 33 years of our uninterrupted democracy, the Cedi remains resilient. It has been our medium of exchange, facilitating trade, transactions, and connecting our people. For 60 years, through cycles of inflation, devaluation, redenomination, and recovery, the Cedi remains the symbol of our national sovereignty. It has indeed endured. It has evolved and remains the only legal tender of our dear republic. Madam Vice President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this anniversary marks a new dawn for the Ghana Cedi. The theme for the Cedi, 60 years of the Cedi, the symbol of our sovereignty, stability, and economic resilience, could not have been more apt. This theme underscores the need for all of us to have faith in our dear currency, the Ghana Cedi. As managers of the economy, we have remained steadfast in our duty to ensure a strong Cedi and a very stable currency. Our commitment to fiscal discipline has contributed to the strengthening of the Ghana Cedi. We want to use this opportunity to commit that the government of Ghana remain committed, and we shall stay the course to ensure that the Ghana Cedi remains stable and gains, as we have seen, are being maintained. As citizens, we have a role to play. And let me repeat this. As citizens, we also have a role to play. We must maintain the sanctity of the Cedi as a legal tender by preserving it with dignity and protecting it jealously. We must all be vanguard, and we have to ensure that we are all vanguard by ensuring that the Cedi's value is maintained. We must be eschewing the act that seeks to undermine the value of the currency, particularly the pricing of goods and services in foreign currency, the US dollar. Let me use this opportunity to once again stress that as Ghanaians, the Ghana Cedi remains the only legal tender. The US dollar is not our currency. The Cedi is our only currency. The continuous pricing of goods and services in US dollars will only hurt us. Let's stop it, and let us stop it now. The Cedi is the only currency we have. Let us protect it, let us trade with it, and let us defend it with all vim within us. Let us talk about the Cedi with pride, not as a burden, but always as a badge of economic independence. As we celebrate 60 years of the Cedi, let us rededicate ourselves to the core to help build the Ghana we want. And colleagues, to end, let me remind you of the words behind me. Ghana Cedi, our heritage. Ghana Cedi, our pride. I thank you so much.
Enti Dr. Ato Forson no see na Vice President of the Republic and Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang so den semba community etuga. In fact, already I was summing up the empediphonic kind nyina. Now I think one key thing on the two Ghana say Ghana ye ba be digital Cedi kwen. Enti o den sembi tuga na me pese me nyanchire mu ni ye, but I think say going forward no you benya clarification on that particular Vice President Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang ede tuga no but no so ne nsem on tuga Cedi na ho den se sie ene niema aban we ya Cedi no ACP esita any the revelation say going forward we'll get digital Cedi kwen no e ho nsem Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang ede tuga ni yenkwene nkoti Vice President of the Republic Professor Naana.
I think the protocol has been very well established, so I can address the royalties and the rest of us. Is that okay? Good morning. What a delight it is to be here today. As we celebrate the 60th anniversary of our Cedi, and as we also reflect on our economic identity and on our future. I bring you all greetings from His Excellency, the President. It was in July 1965 that the cedi replaced the Ghanaian pound, pence, and shillings. This was the result of a bold plan by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to free our economy from colonial structures. As we know, the cedi is drawn from the cowrie shell, which for centuries served as reliable currency. Thus, Ghana sent a signal that our history did not begin with colonization, and that independence and sovereignty may be found in our ability to express value and transact in our own terms. The cedi has since borne witness to our achievements and also our problems. Indeed, our currency is a social contract that reflects our confidence in our institutions and economy. A reliable cedi helps businesses and industries to plan and compete effectively and attract long-term investments. To our farmers, stability means that the cost of farm inputs does not spiral out of control from one season to the next. For our public sector, a reliable cedi means better debt management and freeing up resources for infrastructure. For our students and young people, it means fees, books, and jobs are more predictable. And of course, for our households, it means less inflation, predictable food prices, and long-term planning. Therefore, macroeconomic stability must not be treated as an abstract achievement, but must be seen as the quality of life. Ladies and gentlemen, we have weathered domestic and global storms, notably the structural adjustment of the 80s, the 2008 global financial crisis, the domestic debt exchange, and some of the most recent economic crises. We have learned painful lessons from fiscal indiscipline, over-borrowing, and ignoring tried principles. But today, the cedi has not only recovered, it has soared. You are not happy about it. According to Bloomberg, the Ghana cedi, branded the worst performing currency in the world in 2022, became in 2025 the best performing currency globally. Inflation dropped from the high of 54.1% to 13.7%. And our gross international reserves, from what the governor has said, now exceeds $12 billion. Confidence is returning to the markets, to investors, and slowly but surely to our people. But we are also aware that the trust in the cedi will not sustain itself. Confidence must be maintained with sound decisions, transparent actions, and accountable policies. What I mean, ladies and gentlemen, is that we must now protect what we have rebuilt through action from government, institutions, and citizens. Government must lead by example and commit to real fiscal discipline. No more reckless borrowing or surging deficits that pass today's problems to tomorrow's generations. We must anchor public finances in realistic revenue plans, efficient spending, and long-term planning. Let every loan be tied to a return and every cedi spent to a corresponding value. Furthermore, we must protect the independence of the central bank. The Bank of Ghana must remain a steward of stability. We must uphold the legal tender status of the cedi. Today, too many goods and services are still quoted in foreign currencies. But if you earn in cedis, you must be able to transact in cedis. Let me acknowledge the role of the Minister of Finance under Dr. Ato Forson and the Bank of Ghana under the Governor, Dr. Johnson Esiama, and all the generals. Acknowledge all of you. Through tight monetary policy and engagement with the public, the bank has helped to anchor expectations and restore some level of credibility to our markets. We must commend their regulation of virtual asset service providers and promotion of fintech innovations and rollout of this E-Cedi, which I'll touch on shortly. I encourage the Bank of Ghana to work more closely with businesses, banks, and innovators to make it easier to transact in cedi at home, online, and across borders. Ladies and gentlemen, restoring confidence in the cedi is also a national responsibility. We must teach each other through civic education, schools, public media campaigns, that the strength of a currency is both what it buys and what it represents. The cedi is as strong as the institutions and people who protect it. Furthermore, the Minister of Finance must uphold fiscal responsibility. Parliament must exercise thoughtful oversight. The private sector must ground its operations in discipline. Academia should generate data and insights. The media must educate. And all this should be happen while we, the citizens, spend, save, speak with prudence. Ladies and gentlemen, finance is evolving rapidly. And that is why the Bank of Ghana is developing and testing the E-Cedi, a digital form of our currency. Once fully scaled, the E-Cedi will modernize our payment systems and ensure that even in a cashless future, the cedi retains its importance. That said, as we embrace financial innovation, we must equally adopt digital inclusion. The benefits of digital finance must reach all of us, especially those who are often excluded. In closing, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we mark 60 years of the cedi, let us honor the vision of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the foundational work of the early governors of the Bank of Ghana, and the quiet dedication of reformers, technocrats, and everyday Ghanaians who have kept the wheels of this economy turning over the years. As we use it in our day-to-day activities, as we buy, sell, borrow, save, and even fulfill our debts, we must remember that the cedi has also been a symbol of national identity, resilience, and aspiration over the past 60 years, and we hope for more as we go forward. May our cedi endure. On this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to declare the Ghana cedi at 60 celebration officially launched.
Yɛda mu nyina ase sɛ mohwɛ adwumadi yɛbɛsa ɛne mo de nhyiamu biem Nana Janto de so ka to man enche mo bɛte ne nkamedi ne Steven Zando na de ɛne sɛ video sɛ we enjoy ampacho leave comment in the comment section we are like na fe wa hyɛ na foforo nso anya bi ahwɛ yɛbɛhyia biem on the next episode with the fireman de so ka to man Nana Janto ayakra mo.